God bless. God bless. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Thursday? I pray all is well. I pray that your day, your morning, um, gotten off to a good one. But if not, remember what I always say, hit that reset button and start all over again. We are in control to a certain degree what type of day we will have. Um, we are in control of what we allow in our spirits. So today we're going to guard our spirits today. Is that all right? I pray that you're just feeling grateful today. You're feeling thankful today. Um, don't allow what you're going through. Don't allow your situation. Don't allow your circumstance to overwhelm you to the point to where you just don't feel grateful. You don't feel thankful. Don't allow that to question your existence. Don't allow that to question why you're still here. Don't allow that to question, um, is God pleased with you? Don't allow those emotions, those negative emotions to rise up. Those emotions come from the enemy. So with that being said, I'm going to try to be quick. I'm going to try to be brief, but I want to speak on something that I watched that it really hit home because I have experienced it. And I know I'm not the only one. Um, but it really it got me right here. um, I want to speak on grief and I want to speak on grieving. Sometimes we don't understand the level of someone's grief, the level of someone's grieving. And it's hard to tell someone, I'm sorry, it's easy to tell someone, get over it, get past it. It's easy to say, we all going to go sometime. And that's so true. That is so true. But I think in the moment that someone is going through, the moment that someone is grieving, we got to choose our words wisely. And if you don't know what to say, don't say anything at all. I understand when people are going through, you don't know what to say. You don't know um, if you should say anything. You don't know because you don't know the level of their hurt. You don't know the level of their pain. But the one thing I want to speak on, whew, help me, Jesus. We have to be careful that when people lose loved ones, that we don't interfere with their process of grieving or grief. Because grieving and grief is a healing process. It's just like an open wound. When a wound is open, there's different ointments, patches, band-aids that you put on there because you want that wound to heal. And if the necessary medications or tools are not used, that wound will not heal properly. And I say all that to say this. Oftentimes, when we're grieving over someone, and let's just say someone didn't have the best relationship with that individual that you are grieving over, it makes it hard for you to grieve properly, which means it's going to be hard for you to heal properly. We got to make sure that if we love that one is still here, allow them to grieve properly, allow them to heal properly. We have to understand that what experience that you may have had with an individual, that person that you are hindering didn't have that same experience with that individual. So now what you are doing is you are hindering a healing process. And we wasn't given the authority to do so. So allow people to heal. It's hard enough when a person is living and you can't love them the way you want to love them, because if you love them, someone else will get offended. So now you're stuck in the middle of not wanting to offend, but wanting to love. And then when that individual pass on, you can't even grieve. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I don't think people understand how hard that is. That's not saying that whatever relationship that you two had or didn't have, that you don't have a right to feel what you feel. You have a right to feel what you feel, but don't impose that upon someone that had nothing to do with it. Don't impose that on someone to the point to where they can't heal. Well, their healing is in your hand. You determine if they heal. That's no, God did not give you that authority. God did not give you that power. Allow people to heal. Allow people to grieve. It's hard when you want to grieve. It's hard when you want to heal. It's hard when you want to cry. But it's a certain way you got to do it. It's a certain time you have to do it. It's a certain place you have to do it. You got to be careful how you do it, because you don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want anybody to take your tears the wrong way. I've been there. I've been there. And when you can't grieve because of a loss, because of a loved one, it hurts. It hurts. And grieving is healing. Grieving is releasing a lot of those emotions, and it's necessary. It's necessary for you to move forward and not stay stuck in that place. It's about releasing. Grieving is releasing so you can heal. So I just wanted to hop on here and, to that person that is struggling with grieving, because you feel like grieving can be offensive. It can be taken the wrong way. Grieve for you. Grieve for your healing, because it's going to be necessary. Because if you don't grieve properly, it's an open wound. And to that person that don't know how to step back, to not make it about you, to allow that person to grieve properly, pray, ask God to help you. You don't want to be the reason why someone doesn't heal properly. You don't want to be the cause of that. I mean, it's just like if you see someone in a car accident and all they need is a Band-Aid, you mean you wouldn't give them one? Come on now. you know. And it hurts when you go through things such as a loss of a loved one's a loss of a loved one, and you expect for certain people to be there and they don't be there. It hurts. It hurts. Um, I've been there. It hurts. Um, and you don't want to make that individual feel some type of way, because they have a right to feel what they feel. And maybe they just don't have what you need in that moment. Maybe they just can't be there for whatever reason. You know, give them grace, allow them grace, and just pray for them. That's really all you can do. But let's allow one another to grieve during those time of losses, because it's necessary. It's necessary for growth. It's necessary for healing. And all of our feelings matter, you know. And so allow grace for those that are not there. But don't don't waste so much energy on those that have made the decision not to be there for whatever the reason. It really doesn't even matter. But embrace those that are there, because God is going to make sure that there are those um that are there for you. And that's where you want to pour your energy into. Don't focus so much. And I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. It does hurt. I've been there. I'm not saying that. But focus more. That's the word. Focus more on those that are there. And just pray for those, for whatever the reason why they're not there. Because we got to understand everybody experiences with one another is different. And you just have that. My thing is, let's just love people where they are. Love them where they are. You can never go wrong with just loving people where they are, because if you try to love them where you want them to be, you will always be disappointed. But if you just love them where they are, you can't go wrong. So with that being said, like I said, I was watching something and it really touched me, and I just wanted to reach out. I mean, it really touched my heart, because I went through the same thing, and I'm not going to get into details because that's not even necessary. But grieving is necessary. It's necessary. Don't hinder someone's healing. Don't hinder someone's grieving process, because it's necessary. It's vital. It's essential. Anything that doesn't heal properly, that wound is going to reopen. But if it's healed properly, you won't have to worry about that. That wound is going to look different when it's healed properly. And anything that's not healed properly, it looks rough. It's a total mess. So healing properly is necessary. And if you can just remove yourself, don't make it about you, step back, love that person that is still here long enough to say, you know what, this is about you, and I'm going to allow you to do you. It takes a big person to allow someone to grieve, even when you feel like they shouldn't grieve, even when you feel like that person shouldn't care. I had some things said to me, and I was just like, oh, you know, I had to do a double take, and it hurt. It hurt, but I'm still here. I'm still smiling, you know. But allowing someone to heal during a time of loss is necessary. Allow them that time. Allow them that space. Don't be a hindrance. Don't be a blockage. Don't control the healing process. Don't tamper with the healing process, because it's necessary to where that person is going and who that person is going to become after that loss. It's necessary. Don't use that time to take control, to be in control. That's not the time for that. So with that being said, let's love one another. Let's be intentional about loving someone for real. And if you just don't know how to be there for a person that have lost someone that maybe you didn't have a good relationship with, just pray for them. Just say, well, Lord, you know the reason. Right now, I just can't be supportive. But Lord, you touch them. Lord, you be with them. Lord, you uplift them. Lord, you be there for them. Lord, you comfort them. But don't go out of your way to be a hindrance. Don't go out of your way to make them feel like they're wrong for grieving. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is wrong. If you can be there, be there. Put your pride aside and be there, because it's for the person that is still living. That person that is gone on, that person don't know what you're doing. And at that point, it doesn't even matter. It's about that person that is still living, that is left with the process of grieving and healing. And if you can help that person to grieve from a healthy place, you can't go wrong. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. But with that being said, that's it for today. I just want to say, allow someone to grieve, allow someone to heal. Don't hinder the process. So with that being said, I pray that everyone have a blessed Thursday. Remember, this is the day that the Lord has made. We have a right to rejoice and be glad in it. Until next time, be blessed.